Hello and welcome to the first Hex Bond video guide. We're going to introduce this new protocol. Now, if you're like me and you love Hex, then Hex Bond is a brilliant protocol to extend Hex's staking use cases. We can earn passive yield just from our stakes, and we can potentially turn some of our stakes liquid to redeem some of that value if need be. So how does this all work? Well, when you natively stake your Hex, you stake it away for a certain number of days, and once that period of time has passed, you can end the stake, receive all your principal back, and you have generated some extra Hex yield. Now, some people lock their Hex up for a very long time, and the longer you lock it up for, the more yield you'll get, the more T-shares value that stake is worth as well, so it compounds and you get more and more Hex. So I have got some native Hex stakes, or the next one is finishing in a couple of months, and as soon as that's finished I will be making use of this protocol. But I have a little bit of Hex in a wallet to demonstrate. The first thing that we could do is, in this new protocol, we can mint some Hex bonds. So to do so, we don't make a native stake, we make an encapsulated stake, an HSI. And the protocol has a button to do it all for us. But what we'll do, we'll make that stake, so then the stake is active, it's generating that yield for the period of time it's open. But also we're then able to then mint our Hex bond from the HSI stake. So go to not the dashboard, the second option, mint Hex bond. And step one is to delegate a Hex stake. Now, we have some advanced use cases for delegating stakes at any length date, but the day 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 and 8,000 are the key specific dates which we're able to then farm our Hex bonds in liquidity with Hex to generate even further yield. So I'm going to use the top down menu here to make sure I get the date right, to go to HB Hex Bond 8,000. I'm punting this one out as far as I can. So I've got a whopping 500 Hex in this wallet. I'm going to select max and I'm going to delegate the stake. I've already approved the wallet to do so, so that's why I've got the delegate stake. You might need to approve it first, but once approved, delegate the stake, I'm going to go for it. So I delegate the stake, pay the fee, and we're rocking and rolling. So once this is created, it has created a stake. That 500 Hex is going to be chipping away, probably dripping me in tiny fractions of Hex every day, but it's doing it until day 8,000. Very quick math then, that's about 5,500 days it is doing it for. Okay, so that's been created now. So from that, you can see step 2 is, there's my delegated stake. 500, I've got a tiny amount of T shares and it's locked away for between those periods of dates. Okay. What I can do, however, is I can scroll down to 3 and mint the Hex bonds. So if I had a number of stakes, I could see the number of them here, but I've just got that one, haven't I? Yeah, so there it is. It's the Hex Bond 8,000 that I can mint. At the moment, I can mint my maximum amount, which was the 500. So I'll pop that in there and I'll do so. It's really important to understand, but by minting, you take a 1% fee. So 5 Hex will be deducted. So although I will mint 500, 1%, so 5, won't be sent to me, and that's in fact delegated to those holding their rewards tokens in the vault. We'll get to that in another video. So I've selected my maximum and I'm going to mint 500, pay the fee, let it do the do. So I will have 495 Hex Bond 8000 tokens in my wallet. When I have that, that will be basically the video. We can discuss a couple of options that I have, but we'll do other videos to demonstrate that. This is just to show you how you can mint a Hex Bond. Okay, transactions complete. Close. Now, a good little tab here is the portfolio tab. So without having to go to any dashboard or in my wallet or anything like that, I can literally click on the portfolio and it can show me all the different there we go. So Hex Bond 8000, yeah, minted 500, still held 500. So there it is, delegated stakes 500. So I can redeem, if at any point I want to redeem the Hex Bond back to Hex, I can do so here. So redeem bonds for Hex. So to show that I've got it in my wallet, I'll redeem it back. So HB 8000, I'll maximize that. And there you can see it's not 500, it was minted, but I received 5 less because that was the fee. Now, in redeeming this, I would take that 1% fee again, so that'd be 4.95 Hex. But I'll do so. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? I can't redeem it for Hex now, but what I could do is I can put it back into my stake. Sorry, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? So, if I go to, what page did I see that? There's my activity, redeem for Hex, no. It's hard, reset the portfolio page. Beg your pardon. Okay, so back to the mint Hex Bonds tab. I've minted at fee. I can then repay that debt back to the stake, because until that debt is paid back, come the end stake, if I haven't paid it or all of it back, I won't receive whatever I haven't paid back from my principal. All right, so I'm gonna just repay the debt. And unfortunately, so I can't put the whole 500 in because 1% fee to do so. But I'm going to maximise what I've got, and I'm going to burn that Hex Bond out of existence to repay virtually all of my loan. So I'll sign it. So whilst it's doing that, when I initially tried to say repay for Hex, of course, that isn't doable until the end stake day. And in this case, that was 8,000. But that is where you would go when the day finally comes that you can turn your Hex Bond back into Hex at a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, the transaction's done. I've repaid the 495 that I had. So if I check my delegated stake now, you can see that here, if I go to my Hex Bond, how much will it allow me to? Here it is. The only amount I can pull out is 495 because that's all that's in there. Now, as the days, weeks, months go on, I will be generating yield on my stake. Just throw some random numbers out, but let's say 3 years down the line, I've got 300 hex I could pull out from this particular stake. I could mint that additional amount of hex bonds. So it enables you to use that locked away hex stake, use it, and pull the liquidity out if you need it. So I've played it back. So I'll go back to the main screen very quickly. The Hex Bond protocol at a glance. There's some fantastic information in there. Charts load, index screen is playing up today. And there's a lot of information that you can read up on about the protocol. But if you are minting a Hex Bond, you go to the Mint Hex Bond, you delegate a stake. Find once it's delegated, you can find that and you can pull out immediately your principal. As yield accrues, you can pull that out as well. If you want, you need to pay it all back if you want all of your hex back at the end. All right, and there's some other avenues that we can explore with strategies and things like that, where if you want to maximize the amount of hex that you will get. Okay, but that is the video for today. I'll see you on the next one.